you believe your ancestors are just resting in peace where you come from. But that is not exactly the case for us Africans. We believe that when our ancestors passed away, they simply moved on to the next realm where they continue to work as our protectors and guardians. Hello guys, welcome back to Lost Mythologies, where we cover bizarre and interesting mythologies from different communities around Africa. If you haven't subscribed, then please do, so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Today, we'll be looking at how the Akamba people prayed to their gods and ancestors for guidance and protection. And for those of you who haven't heard of this group of people before, the Akamba people are an ethnic tribe from Kenya, East Africa, and they're best known as one of the most mystical tribes in East and Central Africa. And before the Europeans interfered with their way of life during the colonial period, the Akamba people practiced some of the most interesting myths, rites, magics, and ideologies. For starters, the Akamba people had several rituals and practices they will carry out while asking for protection and guidance from their gods and ancestors. And the most commonly used was called 𝗤𝗛𝗘𝗔𝗡𝗡𝗟, which means pouring something down in English. Usually, the Akamba tribesmen carried out this practice before leaving their homestead for important events such as elders' meetings, wars, or hunts and expeditions. Here is a summary of how the practice went down. The person asking for protection and guidance will usually stand on his or her hut's doorway, then pour fresh milk on the ground. While doing that, the person will also chant the names of the gods and ancestors he was praying to and list all his needs. Now, you may be wondering how the person will know whether the prayer has worked or not. Well, if the person pours milk on the ground and it flows away in a stream, then the gods and ancestors have rejected his requests. But if the milk sits in one spot and sinks to the ground, then the gods have granted his requests and he can go on with his day as he had planned. That said, you may now be wondering what people will do when gods and ancestors rejected their prayers. Well, they obviously wouldn't go on with their days as usual without finding out why the gods and ancestors were angry at them. And to find out, they had to visit the village elders carrying their sacrifices, which were usually cows or goats. Remember that village elders in African communities were thought to have a direct line of communication to the gods and ancestors. So if anything was wrong, they were the best people to go to for answers. The elders will then carry out cleansing rituals and purify those people before the gods. I have a bonus belief for you, and it's also from the Akamba people. But to explain the belief in a way you'll easily understand, allow me to use an example. Let's assume I'm Akamba and my firstborn is a daughter. If I leave my hut in the morning for an important event and the first person I meet is male, then that is a sign of bad luck. I will have to go back into my hut and come out again until I meet someone whose gender matches my daughter's. But if I keep meeting men, then I will have to improvise and send someone female to meet me as I leave my hut. That's it for today. If you like the content, then please do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe. This will help the channel grow and allow me to make more videos in the future. Thank you and see you again next week.